To make a great breakfast sandwich, you need great English muffins. And this slow fermentation process will produce just that. Welcome to Cooking with Chef Twan, and today we're going to be making some delicious English muffins. Better than anything that you've ever gotten at the store, but it will require a little bit of patience. 18 hours to be exact, because we're going to let this slowly ferment overnight to build flavor as if it was being made with a sourdough starter. The recipe in itself is very easy. There's only a handful of ingredients and you don't even need any special equipment. All you need is a mixing bowl and a wooden spoon, and that's it. Beautiful thing about English muffins is they don't even require an oven to cook them in. You can do it in a skillet or a flat top. And I'll show you guys another little tiny chef trick to make your English muffins puffier, fluffier, and tastier. All right guys, let's get started. I'm going to add 1 gram of yeast to 115 milliliters of warm water and a tiny pinch of sugar just to give the yeast something to eat. Give that a stir, and then we're going to add 14 grams of softened butter to 142 milliliters of warm milk. And then we're going to put in 2 grams of salt to 355 grams of all-purpose flour. Just give this a nice even mix. Now wait for your yeast to bloom, and then you want to take all the ingredients and then slowly add it to the flour. Once you do that, start stirring and combine all the ingredients together to make a nice shaggy dough. Now this is only going to take a few minutes, so you don't even need to break out the stand mixer or the food processor or any of those things. All the ingredients will be listed in the description box down below. And just make sure that you scrape the bowl, make sure that all the dry flour gets incorporated into the dough. And then wrap it in plastic, put a towel over it for 18 hours. So we're about 10 hours in. And let's check on our dough. As you can see, it's doubled quite nicely. Let's see how it smells. Oh yeah, you can smell the funk in the yeast. It smells pretty sourdough-like. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. All right, got another 8 hours to go. Alright guys, so it's been 18 hours. Let's go check on our dough. Really nice and bubbly. Smells really good. So I'm just gonna turn this dough out onto a nice floured surface. So you can see. Just like so. It's really nice and bubbly and craggly. As you can see, there's a lot of air pockets already and it's really sticky. So let's dust the top. I was always taught that traditionally you want to roll out your dough to about a ½ inch thick and then use a circle cutter to cut out your muffins. Well, with this fermentation, the dough is really soft. So you know what? Let's switch it up. Okay, so there was a little problem with the dough. As you saw when I poured it out and everything, it seemed a little too soft to be working with. So we're gonna call an audible. And what I did to salvage this, to see if we can salvage this, is put it back into a dough ball and I put it in the fridge for about 40 minutes just to firm it up a bit. And now instead of flattening it out and cutting them, we're gonna roll them into little dough balls and flatten them that way. So that's how we're gonna make these English muffins. So we'll see if we can save this. The flavor will still be there, but we'll just see how the texture turns out. And the shape. So here, as you can see, now this is better. A lot better. So now let's weigh these out. I think I had about 570 some odd grams. And so that will enable us to get these dough balls into about 95 gram portions. So we'll have about 95 gram English muffins. All right, so I'm gonna do this and then we'll get back to you. I think this is definitely a better method of making English muffins. You don't have to use circle cutters. There's no waste. Everything is equally portioned. Here's our baking tray lined with cornmeal. I think when they relax, we'll be able to flatten them out a little bit more. All right, let's do 4 on each tray. And then I'll just get a plate for the remaining 2. All right guys, so here's our English muffin dough. I think this works out better than the original recipe that I had. So I will rewrite this recipe for this process, which from the looks of it seems very promising. So you can see these guys are about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick. So they're gonna puff up a little bit more when we cook them. And they're really soft. And the smell, the aroma coming from these guys, really, really nice. So we'll let these guys sit for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, since they're already at room temperature and everything anyways. And then we'll cook them in the skillet. We're gonna prep a non-stick skillet on medium heat. So these guys only take about 5 minutes on one side. And here's a little trick. Put a lid on it because the steam will help these guys rise and get a little bit puffy. All right, so just after about 4 or 5 minutes, you can see this side is nice and light golden brown. I think that's perfect. So just flip all the other guys over. And then on this second side, we'll just cook it for another 3 to 4 minutes. So as you can see, these English muffins do not take long to cook at all. So you can see here, it's starting to cook all the way up. And these guys are puffier than what you see at the store. Look at that. They're looking pretty great. So we'll let this go for a few minutes on this other side. And it should be ready. All right, so I think we can flip these. So let's see. Oh, look at that. That is an awesome looking crown. That is an awesome looking crown. Look. Really nice and puffy. I think these guys are done. All right, so I'll put these guys on a wire rack and let them cool, and then we'll cook the rest. And then once they're done, we'll cut into it and see what we got. Oh, you know what? I can't wait to see what these guys look like on the inside with all the nooks and crannies. These guys look fantastic. All right, let's take one of these English muffins and let's pry it open. Feels really nice. A lot of nooks and crannies. A lot of bubbles. Smells really good too. All right, let's toast. Put a little bit of butter in this pan, and they're looking really good. You know what? Let's make a breakfast sandwich. I have some breakfast sausage, eggs, and cheese. All right, let's do that. All right, so here I have some breakfast sausage that I've formed into a roll. I have some sausage casings coming next week, and I'm gonna do a video on breakfast sausages, so it'll be another charcuterie video. All right, so let's see how our English muffin's doing. Ooh, looking pretty nice. Really nice. They feel really light. I mean, light and dense at the same time, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Now these English muffins, you definitely can eat them any way you want. Smear some jam on it, or jelly, cream cheese, or just butter. I want a breakfast sandwich. So here, that's nice and toasted. That's nice and toasted. This little egg ring. Get this little guy out of here. Oh. Spray the sides a bit. Let's get an egg. Crack it right in here. Let's do this to the yolk a bit. And then our sausage to flip. And let it cook. Alright, so cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want, but I think for this kind of sandwich, American cheese is the best. I'm going to show you guys a trick on how to do the cheese for this. So as you can see, this is too big. The best way to do this is to fold the corners in and fold the corners in. Voila. Perfect cheese coverage. I bet you guys didn't know that. Some of you probably be tearing it up into like 3-4 pieces. Let's get a lid. Turn our heat down so our egg doesn't burn. And just let this go for about a minute. This is my favorite breakfast sandwich. Let me know down below what kind of breakfast sandwiches you guys like. Alright, let's loosen up our egg. I'll grab a towel. This guy out of here. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Let's give this guy a flip. Perfect little egg. Cheese is nice and melted. So we get this guy. Just let it sit here for a bit. There you go. There you go there. And the crown. Now look at this sandwich. Who wouldn't want to start the day off with one of these? And these gorgeous English muffins, you can have them any way that you want. Alright guys, so we made some English muffins. Some beautiful English muffins. I mean, we did have to call an audible on the recipe, but look at how nice these guys are. Nice cornmeal crust, nice brown crown, thick and puffy. Let's bite into this. Actually, you know what? I want to taste an English muffin on its own first. Mmm. There's definitely a lot more flavor here than the ones at the store. You do taste a little bit of the funk, almost like sourdough. But, you know, funk is too strong of a word. Sourdough is too strong of a description. There's definitely flavor. All right, let's get some butter. Traditionally, you guys eat English muffins with butter, right? All right, now I have strawberry preserves. Let's try this. All right, so now, here we go. So we have some spicy breakfast sausage here, egg, cheese, our English muffin. So much flavor, so much better. For sure, this is this is really awesome. All right, come up here. So what did we learn today? English muffins, you gotta proof them in the refrigerator so the dough is not too soft and hard to work with. Second, I think rolling them out into little dough balls and then pressing them out like this yields a better English muffin. Look at that. You can see that. And there's also no scrap cutout waste. So you maximize all your dough. You don't have to reshape the dough balls and then, you know how those turn out. Not always as good as the original stuff, but look at that. Yeah, I'm really happy. So guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna go and reformat the recipe for you guys so it's foolproof. But give this recipe a try. It's super delicious. It just takes a little bit of time, but like how I did it, like right about dinner time, the next morning, ready to go. Right guys, thank you so much. If you like the content, smash the like button, subscribe, leave me comments down below. Also go check out my blog. Had a lot of fun today. This is really delicious. I'm gonna gift these to my friends and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks guys, stay safe, and as always, peace.